Hi, boys and girls. This is Miss DeMayo. Welcome to Lesson 4 of our Social Studies textbook, all about the Constitution of the United States. Okay, so here are the first 2 pages of our Lesson 4. So you can take a look on your pages in your textbook that you have in front of you. They're pages 78 and 79. If not, you can follow along right on here as I read and talk about the important things on both pages. Okay, so let's take a look at page 78. Here's the first page of Lesson 4. Now, there's some important things we need to look at in order to begin our reading. Okay, so before I even start reading the "You Are There," let's take a look at some of the text features. So on top, I'm noticing that there is a timeline, and we've been learning about this in Reading Workshop. Okay, so here are some important dates during this time. So 1787, 1788, and 1789. And underneath each of the dates, you can see it's a little caption of what happened in each of those years. So in 1787, the Constitutional Convention meets, and we're going to be learning all about that and what exactly that means and who was involved. Then in 1788, a year later, from 1787, the United States Constitution goes into effect. Okay. Then a year after that, in 1789, New Jersey is the first state to ratify the Bill of Rights. Okay, so these are all important events that happened relating to the Constitution. So if we take a look at those 3 dates, we can notice that first this happens, okay? And let's start to think about cause and effect as well. So first this happens, the Constitutional Convention meets. And then this is probably something that happened that made this effect happen. After it, the Constitution went into effect. So we're going to be learning all about what exactly happened at this convention to make the Constitution go into effect. Okay, so let's take a look at "You Are There." It is September 1787. You are attending the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Just now, Benjamin Franklin is in the middle of a speech to the convention. He's trying to convince the members to sign the new Constitution. I agree to this Constitution with all its faults, because I think a general government is necessary for us. You hope they take his advice. This country needs a strong government to survive. Okay, so that's just a little glimpse as to what exactly happened at the Constitutional Convention, and we're going to be reading more about it to get the details. Okay, so I learned that Benjamin Franklin is probably going to be an important person at this convention. Okay, and this was what he stated. He stated that he agreed to the Constitution with all its faults because I think a general government is necessary for us. So he believes a general government is going to be necessary for us in order to survive. So let's take a look at the important vocabulary words as well that we're going to be reading about in this lesson. Okay, so the first one is delegate right here. Okay, and we're going to learn about that on page 79. A delegate is a representative. So it's a person and they represent a certain thing or cause or event. Okay, a legislature. A legislature is a group of persons who makes the laws for a station, not a station, a nation or state. Okay, so a legislature is a group of people and they make the laws. A compromise, you might have heard this word before, is an agreement in which one person or the other person as well needs to give something up in order to compromise or agree on something that they're both happy. Okay, so both people have to give up one thing, that a need or a want, in order to compromise or agree on something with another person or another group of people. The word ratify means to approve. And the word amendment means a change or addition to the Constitution. Okay, so we're going to be learning a lot about the Constitution and what it is and how it helped our country in order to make it what it is today. So let's take a look now on page 79. Before I even begin reading page 79, I notice that there is a text feature. There is a picture or a photo of a map. And I'm noticing that there's a key over here with different colors and words next to those colors to represent what each of those means. Okay, so this is a picture of the United States after the American Revolution, and we learned about the American Revolution in our last lesson. So it shows how North America, our continent, was divided after the American Revolution. So let's take a look at our reading. Here is our heading, A Plan for Government. In 1776, after the colonies declared their independence from Britain, the Second Continental Congress chose a committee to write a plan of government for the new nation. It was called the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation set up a national government, but it was weak. The states held all the power. So let's think about that for a second. So the Articles of Confederation, it went into plan. It was a form of our government that the states would have to follow. Okay, but this was clearly too weak. Okay, it was not really that great for our surroundings. Okay, it didn't really have the best setup. So let's see what they're going to do about it. The Constitutional Convention. I'm thinking maybe at the Constitutional Convention, a group of people might have come together and discussed this and how they can make it better to help the nation. So let's take a look. Many leaders feared that the new government would fail. After the war, they called for a constitutional convention to revise the Articles of Confederation. The Constitutional Convention met in Philadelphia in May 1787. More than 50 of the nation's leaders attended the convention. They included George Washington and Benjamin Franklin. New Jersey sent 5 delegates or representatives to the convention. Governor William Livingston was one of the representatives. So was New Jersey lawyer William Paterson. The members of the convention soon realized that the nation needed a new plan of government that would allow for a stronger national government. Instead of revising the Articles of Confederation, they decided to write a new constitution. It would be called the Constitution of the United States of America.